What does Thailand's election mean for the cannabis industry? A bikini-clad durian seller sparks controversy. The Thai tourism rebound by the numbers. A South African tourist gets bloodied in a fight over what? We got some wacky stories this month, so sit back, relax, put some ice cubes in your beer, because this is going to take a whole lot longer than 60 seconds. Welcome to June, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our program where we give you a monthly update on all the wildest stories from right here in Thailand. First up, as we near the halfway point in the year, it's time to check in on Thailand's tourism industry. Everybody here was hoping for a post-COVID rebound as strong as the rock, if he took a bag of steroids and methamphetamines. But did it turn out that way? Or was it more like this? Well, the headline reads, almost 10 million foreign tourists so far this year. But the devil's always in the details, where we can see that 9.47 million tourists have come here as of May 15th, with total tourist expenditure during this period reaching 391 billion baht. These numbers are being driven by the Asian market itself, with visitors from India, South Korea, and Malaysia topping the list. But as everyone knows, without the Chinese tourists, the tourism industry here stands as much of a chance at recovering as Keith Richard does entering Alcoholics Anonymous.
Recover from what, man?
China made up 20% of tourist arrivals before COVID, and although inbound flights from China have increased 98% year over year so far, they are still a far cry from the 5.3 million Chinese arrivals the Tourism Authority of Thailand is predicting for the year, as these flights represent 66% less than pre-pandemic levels. With these numbers steadily increasing, news articles have surfaced that highlight the pros and cons of more Chinese tourists. The pros, they include a very positive impact on 4 key sectors: chain budget hotels, medical tourism, and the condo market, along with business travel. The biggest con that concerns the Thai people is related to the old trickle-down economics.
Our aim is to increase our national wealth so all will have more, not just redistribute what we already have, which is just a sharing of scarcity.
Now, I thought a trickle-down joke related to soy cowboy would have been funnier, but that's just me. One Thai analyst was quoted as saying, Chinese operators have invested in shops and businesses, which has provided initial capital infusion, like what happened in Cambodia. But afterwards, there is little trickling down effects to spread the wealth to the local economy. They're calling this $0 tourism, and Thailand needs to keep a keen eye on this, as it is true that countries like Cambodia and Laos have sold their souls to the Chinese juggernaut. And I, for one, hope that Thailand never goes down that road. But it's not just the Chinese on everyone's minds. Russian tourists have flocked back to Thailand, and Phuket in particular. But not all is well in paradise. With Russians facing travel restrictions to much of the Western world, they're flocking back to Thailand in droves, with Phuket alone expected to receive over 1 million Russian guests this year. Some are dodging the draft, some are buying local property, while others are just escaping winter in Moscow. And although 90% of Phuket's GDP comes from tourism, this is presenting a conundrum for the island. Tensions are on the rise after reports that Russians are topping the lists of arrests for crimes, including theft, drug smuggling, and recklessness. In fact, nurses at the Patong hospital said that they're seeing increasing numbers of people checking in due to traffic accidents and alcohol poisoning. I, for one, find it very hard to believe that Russians, of all people, would experience alcohol poisoning.
Я оставлю и вот мне казах. Смотри.
But no matter what happens to the tourist numbers, one hot topic is the on-again, off-again 300 baht departure tax, with an article in Phuket-Go reading, the fee was initially approved by the outgoing cabinet in February of this year and would have seen 300 baht being collected from air passengers and 150 baht from those arriving by land or sea. However, it's yet to be published in the Royal Gazette, and as we all know, until that happens, nothing happens. Next up, on last month's program, we featured a segment called Tourists Behaving Badly. Well, in the name of being fair, this month, get ready for Thais behaving badly. We'll start with a story from Phuket, where in the wee hours of the night, the police department received a strange call reporting a disturbance on Walking Street. The police rushed down to the scene where they found a South African tourist with blood streaming down his face. This was all due to an altercation with the security staff at a local bar. The staff claimed it had all started when they asked him to pay his bill of 9,470 baht. He reportedly verbally abused the staff, rumpled the bill up into a little ball, and threw it in their face. There's a lesson in there, folks, but our viewers here at 60 Seconds in Thailand are much too smart to crumple your bar bill up and throw it in the face of Thai security. Meanwhile, over in Pattaya, a crafty Thai woman allegedly steals a British tourist's Rolex watch. According to the man, he had taken this woman back to his hotel room, and when he got into the shower, in the middle of the night, she stole his Rolex and pulled a runner. Police have said that they will return the full value of the locally purchased Rolex, estimated at $18. Also in Pattaya, or what I like to call the Florida of Thailand, an Indian tourist and Thai marijuana vendor got involved in a heated road rage incident that led to the Thai man stabbing the Indian man in the chest. The local Thai was arrested, and the 25-year-old Indian tourist was rushed to a local hospital where luckily his injuries were not life-threatening. And speaking of cannabis, Thailand's election results are in, and they have the entire industry on edge. For the full story, I now turn it over to our top field reporter, C. Parker, who is live on the scene. C, what can you tell us?
Maybe Tom Yam Kush, maybe some Blue Diesel.
What the hell are you doing? You're live.
So can you roll that up for me right now?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, great, man. I'm in a bit of a hurry to get smoking it today.
Okay.
Okay, thanks a lot, man.
I'm sorry, folks. It looks like C is up to his old tricks. I'll just do the damn field report myself. Yes, I'm arriving at the location, Chris. Can you hear me back in the studio? Yes, Chris, we have you loud and clear, and thanks for doing this. No problem, Chris. The one thing I refuse to do is to ever let down our viewers. Now, let's start with the election results. Thailand's Move Forward Party won the recent election, and they are currently trying to maneuver to get their leader, PETA, positioned as the new prime minister. Earlier this week, PETA announced a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, where he detailed 23 missions that he hopes to accomplish as the new prime minister. And one of those was related to the marijuana industry, where he said that he would consider changing Thailand's new laws. But what does that all mean? Well, I'm here live in front of Thailand's top cannabis dispensary, Cloud9, with the CEO of OG Canna, Ben Baskins. Ben, thanks for joining me.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So can you make sense of Thailand's recent election and what it might mean for the marijuana industry?
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, we were all a little bit concerned with the MOU when it first came out. So that was a very concerning period of about 14 hours, I would say, until there was clarification from PETA in his press conference that evening after that MOU was signed.
I think it means a couple of things. It means to the society and the people at large that cannabis, the benefit of cannabis will always outweigh the disadvantage of having cannabis. Secondly, for the shop owners, if you had followed the rules, if you had followed the protocols, if you did everything correctly, there would not be any impact.
In that press conference, he basically clearly understands the benefit for medicinal use of cannabis, and everybody that's invested in this business, whether it's the growers or the shops, don't worry. They're not going anywhere. We're going to make sure that there's new legislation one way or another, however we get there. So we took that in a very positive way.
Yeah, I can't see Thailand completely reversing course. Now that the train's left the station, there just seems to be too many benefits here that the country's already experiencing and enjoying.
From my understanding, PETA's standpoint is if they do reverse the law, that gives them the opportunity to put all the regulations in there. But looking at the easier path and also looking at the potential with the coalition, with the team members that he's going to be joining in his leadership role, it's more likely or easier way. It's basically, straight to the point in regards to ensuring those regulations is to take the old law and then reform that and then put it back out with more regulations, making the whole country happy. For example, there's dispensaries not going to be located, close to schools and all the controversial stuff that now is going on in Thailand. So to be quite frank with you, we're very optimistic. We're moving forward on our plans. We're looking to open Thailand up for medical tourism, like true medical tourism, and help cancer patients. People in the region really need access to medicinal cannabis. It's really something that's important for us. And we're feeling positive, honestly.
Well, thanks for that insight, Ben. Back to you in the studio, Chris. Wow, Chris, you really are the most valuable staff member on our entire team. Thanks for this in-depth report. No problem. It's what we do. Now, just before we get to our eye-popping story about the bikini-clad durian seller creating controversy, I now have to turn it over to Canadian Chris for a word from today's sponsor. Oh, hey, Canadian Chris here. Now, is your electric bill too low? Are you sick and tired of being able to walk outdoors comfortably? Perhaps the air is just too damn clean for your liking. Well, the sponsor of today's video will solve all of these problems and many more. Let me just demonstrate here. That's right. Today's program is brought to you by Hot Season. This special offer will have you sweating your balls off, choking on polluted air, and never wanting to leave your house. When that happens to me, I end up going through way more tissues than normal, so I guess that's the downside to today's sponsor. But if you want to sign up for Hell on Earth, we have a special discount code for you. Just go to Thailand.com and enter the link Sweaty Sack, and you'll get 20% discount off of a supply of Kleenex brand tissues, just in case you too get stuck at home. This offer is available for a limited time only, thank Christ, because sometime in June, hot season will be replaced by rainy season. What the hell was that? I'm trying to run a professional news program here. Well, we gotta pay the bills around here. Well, if this means that I get a raise, then I'm in. Finally tonight, folks, the story you've been waiting for. And this one comes from our very own Thailand weekly newsletter, where the headline read, "Bikini-clad durian seller sparks controversy." The story takes place up in Kampang Phet, wearing only a pink bikini has created quite the local buzz. Reports of skyrocketing sales and social media posts galore have pushed her to the forefront of Thai pop culture. But here at 60 Seconds in Thailand, we're a serious news outlet. So our large research team dug deep to answer the question, who's the woman behind the bikini? Well, it turns out that her name is Nong Aum. She's a 22-year-old, and she's selling these durians to help her mother, Mrs. Pantip, who's been struggling to sell roadside fruit for 31 years. And for those interested in visiting and supporting her efforts, the shop is called Tip Durian, and it's located on Kampang Phet Pichit Road in Muang District. Who knows? Maybe by the time you get there, she'll have different fruit in stock. Perhaps melons? No. Anyway, sign up for our free newsletter, Thailand Weekly, using the link in the description below, and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss next month's report. please, just subscribe right up here. It's hot here. Would you please just click the damn subscribe button?